All right, everybody, thanks for joining in once again. This is our annual Halloween episode. And for those of you keeping track over the years, minus the very first year where we covered the entire franchise in one episode for some idiotic reason, we've been pretty much kind of sticking to them in sort of chronological order throughout the years, and this year marks our 5th year anniversary of doing this podcast. So that means this year we are covering none other than 1989's Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Yes, we are. We finally are scraping the barrel of Halloween movies and digging as far as we can.
Oh, just wait till we get to our 8th anniversary.
Oh, man. How far we have digressed, or not digressed, how far we have gone from that classic John Carpenter film in 1978. 11 years later, and here we have Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Where do we start with this film?
I can tell by the enthusiasm in your voice. I could just imagine you when you were watching this the other day, and you were just like, "Oh, that son of a bitch! Why did we decide to? Oh God, I hate this."
It's one of those films that I stopped watching regularly a long time ago. So it's kind of like, I wasn't as familiar as I was with to me, see, again, going back, I'm a Halloween purist. You have to have a really great mask, and really the only great mask is the original. And the only sequel that I actually will watch nowadays is Halloween 2. And it's probably because the mask is the original mask, and it's got enough of the tone of the original throughout the film that I enjoy it, even though Halloween 2 isn't a great movie either. Going to Halloween 5, not only do we have the shittiest mask ever put on screen, but we've got a story that is so convoluted, and we've got so many problems, so much going on, that, my 42-year-old self looking back at this film is just like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I don't understand how the mask got so bad. It was like the mask designer on this one, like, maybe never saw the mask before, and so somebody was like, yeah, it's just like a plain white mask with brown hair. Just make that. And the guy's like,
right.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll make this thing. And I mean, it almost looks like the original mask got left in like water for like 14 years or something. And somebody just like pulled and stretched it out. And then it was just like, it's just so weird that the mask is like so different. And then this one, similarly to Halloween 4, where they kind of use the original mask in some of the like advertising and stuff for this. So then when you see them, you're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, totally. I think we talked about it in the Halloween 4 episode, but when they did Halloween 4, they knew it was a Captain Kirk mask, and I don't remember exactly the details, but they got basically somebody to come and recast the Captain Kirk. So I think there was an actual Captain Kirk mask they found. They were able to recast it, and if you watch the original, I guess they filmed it Halloween 4 with the Captain Kirk mask unaltered, with blonde hair and skin tone color and the small eyes. And then somebody said, wait, Michael Myers doesn't look like that. And then they had to go back and redo a bunch of stuff. And going back to Halloween 4, there's a scene, the schoolhouse scene, it's very infamous, where Michael Myers throws Loomis through a window, and it's the only shot of the whole movie where they show him wearing the Captain Kirk mask unaltered. And then they went back but they didn't know how to alter it. So they painted it white, they left the sideburns, and they did some real goofy thing with the eyebrows, and they cut the eye holes the wrong way. So the Halloween 4 mask is a disaster too. But then this mask is like, yeah, like you said, it's like, huh? What is this? Is this like a paper mache, 5th grader project or something like that? It's terrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
I will say though, when this movie came out, I was in 7th grade at the time, and Fangoria was all about Halloween 5. I was really excited and really hooked on everything I was reading about it, and I really wanted to see it. And when I did first see it, I really enjoyed it as a kid, and I accepted it as part of just, well, this is just part of the Halloween lore. And I even was okay with the mask back then, but now as a grumpy old man, all of that's out the window.
Oh man, I tell you, the other day, well, it's probably been a couple of weeks now. There's a Spirit Halloween fairly close to my work, and was this at Spirit? No, this wasn't at Spirit. There's a Halloween City that's really close to my work, which for those of you that don't have a Halloween City near you, you've probably have heard of Party City. And for whatever reason, Party City opens up these Halloween City like pop-up stores that are very similar to Spirit Halloweens and Halloween Expresses and stuff. And so, which is actually kind of cool because within just like 2 miles of my work, I have a Halloween Express, a Spirit Halloween, and a Halloween City. Halloween Express pretty much sucks ass because I don't know that they have any like cool masks makers or, whatever. They don't have like Trick or Treat Studios or anything in there. They have some cool stuff, but anyway, so I have a Spirit and then I have Halloween City, and I'll go to like them like once a week just to kind of check out and stuff, and because it is kind of cool because they actually do get new stuff in and stuff. But anyway, the Halloween City, they have Trick or Treat Studios masks there that they sell, and they had the other day, it was pretty cool, they had a Halloween 2 mask, they had a Halloween 4 mask, they had a Halloween 5 mask, and then they had a Halloween 6 mask. So you can just kind of see like the progression of the masks. And then, like, as you're looking, like, oh man, they just got horrible. What the hell?
Did you say they had a Halloween 5 there?
I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah.
They did, really? Okay, I haven't seen one out in the wild yet.
Yeah.
I've only seen pictures online. Cool.
Yeah, and it was kind of, but it was, and they had a whole bunch of like Halloween 6 masks.
Yeah, that was a pretty. That one came out a few years ago, so I think they just overstocked on that.
Right. And then they have this, which I shown you this one too. It's like a knockoff, but I think it's like an officially licensed mask, which I don't know how they do this, but I can't remember the name of it. But it's of Rob Zombie's Halloween, and so then they have like these Trick or Treat Studios masks, which look pretty good to what they're supposed to look, and then they have this weird, like whatever they call it, the Shape Never Dies or something mask or something. And it's like from Rob Zombie's Halloween, so then it's like, what the hell? Which is weird because like Rob Zombie's, the Halloween mask in, the original Rob Zombie movie was, even though I know it got like worn and stuff, but looked pretty close to the original compared to Halloween 4 and Halloween 5.
Yeah, that was actually one of Rob Zombie's things, is he said, we got to make sure we get a decent looking mask. I don't mind the mask so much in the original film. I thought he did a pretty good job, having one designed to look decent enough compared to, like some of these sequels. Ugh, terrible. But not only is the mask terrible in Halloween 5, but I gotta say this: I was not a fan of Dr. Loomis in this movie at all. Like when you watch the original Halloween, he is like, just like, it's such a classic, iconic role, and he's so like, the way he describes Michael and the black eyes and all that stuff, you're just like hooked every time he's on screen. In this one, it's almost like he's just this like senile, ridiculous old man. And it's just like, it's hard to watch almost.
Yeah, you can see in this one, you can kind of see some of the influence of the Dr. Loomis character in the zombie movies a little bit, where it's just kind of like a little bit out there and a little bit crazy, and you're kind of like, what the hell's going on? I mean, it's not the same guy, but at the same time, though, it's kind of weird because the continuity is so messed up in these movies, and there's the one scene where he goes off about, like, oh, look at my burnt up arm. I survived and we both should be dead, or whatever the hell he says. And you're just kind of like, what? What's going on?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Another terrible thing about this movie is they completely get rid of the Rachel character right in the first act when it survives Halloween 4. And why bring her back and then have her kind of stick around and just to kind of pull her out so quickly? That didn't even make any sense.
Right. And then get replaced by Tina, who, which was kind of weird because then, they didn't really, to me, they didn't really play off of that character as well as they probably could have. Because there is the whole thing, like, oh, when Jamie finally does start talking again, and she's like, oh, Tina, and she's like, oh my god, I love it. And then she's like, I gotta go, I'm going to this party, see you later, bitch. You're like, wait, what?
Right. Yeah, and the whole Jamie not being able to talk for the majority of the film, that was goofy too.
I have to admit, because I used to love this movie when I was a kid.
Yeah, I did too. And
Danielle Harris is one of my favorite actresses. Halloween 4 and Halloween 5, I mean, when those came out, I mean, we're pretty much the same age, so I was like, oh, there's this cute girl making horror movies and stuff, and then, and she's still making horror movies now, kind of, and she's still cute and stuff, but man, going back to these movies, part 5, I will say, every time I watch this, I find more and more wrong with it, and it's just, even like some of the stuff with the Jamie character, you're like, that's kind of dumb. It's like poor writing and stuff. But I think a lot of the problem with this goes back to what's his face, the producer and stuff, who was the one, like, oh, we're going to keep pumping these movies out. We're going to keep pumping these movies out.
Yeah.
And part 4 came out. And I still do like part 4 quite a bit. But part 4 came out, and then I think they were like, they kind of took the Nightmare, or they took the Friday the 13th approach to them, and they're like, let's get another one out right away. And so, they cranked out part 5, and then, it's kind of like, I don't know what to do with this story. So here, let's do this stuff. Then
then we get the Man in Black in this one.
Right, which doesn't make any sense at all. And then, they don't explain anything at all with that. And then, this one. And the shitty thing with this one is they completely left this one up for a sequel. You're like, oh, cool, we're getting another Halloween movie. And then another Halloween movie doesn't come out for what was it, 7 years, 8 years, something like that? Mustafa, what's his last name? Akkad or whatever?
Yep.
I tell you to go to hell, but you're probably already there, but we won't go there.
Yeah, that was it.
But I will say with this particular movie is, I mean, unlike part 4, because part 4 has got some pretty memorable deaths in it. You have kind of the reveal at the end where you're like, oh, are we going to have, which, I mean, kind of was a copy of Friday the 13th part 4, but, like, oh, are we going in a different direction with this? Or, we getting another Tommy Jarvis out of this? And then, part 5 is just like, oh, yep. I mean, they kind of say that the stuff in part 4 happened, but they went a completely different route with it. And you're like, oh, man, you had so much potential to go with that. You could have made Jamie be like the killer. That would have been cool.
Yeah, they went in a completely different direction.
And then, they just kind of dropped the ball with it. But hey, if it wasn't for the Man in Black, then, we wouldn't have had the whole Thorn conspiracy and all of that stuff either. So
Yeah, 5 definitely sets up a lot of weird stuff. And then there's the well, you know what? I'll say that the death scene that I think that were decent were the one with the kid with the car, that he likes so much, and Michael comes in with what's he got, like a 3-pronged fork or whatever. And
oh yeah, and see, and again, to me, that kind of reminds me again of Friday the 13th. Like that was straight out of, like, that kid was like straight out of Friday the 13th Part 5.
Oh yeah,
that random like greaser scene. Like, they're like, oh, we need some more kills in this movie. Oh, here we're just gonna have these kids show up on the side of the road, broken down, and Jason's gonna stumble upon them. But that's where this movie really seemed like to me was like they were competing with, and it's weird that they were competing with I shouldn't say competing with, but you see the direct ripoffs of Friday the 13th in this.
Oh yeah,
but you don't really see anything from A Nightmare on Elm Street in this. To me, it's kind of weird.
Definitely has that like Friday feel to it.
Yeah, it totally does. Where like we're gonna take this scene from Friday the 13th Part whatever, and I mean, I guess the end of Part 4 was the Friday the 13th Part 4 ripoff a little bit, but yeah, it was. I mean, and the Halloween movies kind of did that a lot, which was kind of weird after the sequels started coming out. But again, I think that goes back to the whole, and you hear those stories too with like what's some of those people would say like, oh, what's Mustafa, whatever his last name was, and they're like, yeah, he wanted this or he wanted that or this and that, and and then you kind of hear those stories too about the Friday the 13th stuff, but yeah, it's just so weird that they blatantly ripped each other off in the 80s.
Big time. Should we give a rating for this one?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to have to go ahead and give it a thumbs down. And, basically, as a horror movie, sure, there's some decent horror stuff in it, but this is connected to the Halloween franchise, and if you can't live up to the original, don't try. Thumbs down. See you later.
I'm so shocked that how many times you said terrible movie.
I know.
In the first couple of minutes that you gave it thumbs down. And this might be a shock to you, but I'm going to have to actually go the same on this one. Over time, this one is kind of like, every time I watch it, I'm like,
Yeah, it's
throw this in a pile with Resurrection. It's not really a good movie at all. So now I'm kind of curious as to how we're going to rate Part 6 next year, because
I know. We got 2 Part 6s. Producer's cut and the theatrical.
Yeah, we'll go with the good one. We'll just go with the producer's cut.
Oh, cool.